So in today's video, I am going to be bringing you guys 10 free agents Bradford City could potentially sign this upcoming summer transfer window. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now closing in on 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know if I have missed any players, and out of all these players, who would you like to see Bradford City sign the most? Now, because we don't necessarily know what league we're going to be in, I've done 5 or 6 players for League 2, and I've also done 5 or 6 players for League 1. It's going to be 5 main players, then a couple honourable mentions as well. Now, all of these players in today's video are definitely 100% out of a contract with their current club in this summer. Now, that might be that they've already been released by that club, or they potentially might have been offered a contract by their club, but they might be looking to keep their options open and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, we are a big attraction if we're in League 2. If we're in League 1, players might want to test themselves and all that sort of stuff at that level if they've not played there before, or if they're certainly not played there in a while. But make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you are new as well, and let's get into it. Now, as of right now, at the time of recording, this is how the current 2023-24 Bradford City squad currently looks. All players who are out of contract in the summer are not included on this list. So obviously you see no Andy Cook, no Alex Gilead, etc. Obviously no loan players as well. Now, regardless of whatever league we're in, we're clearly going to need some central midfielders, whether that's re-signing players on contracts. I think we need another left-back, in my opinion. Clearly need a left-sided centre-half, and maybe one of the right-sided centre-halves moves on. We need a couple of wingers, especially on that right-hand side, and probably another striker, depending on what happens with Andy Cook. But let's waste no further time then. Get on to player number 1. Starting out with the players in League 2. Now, we actually have 7 players here, so we'll get through the 2 honourable nominations. I've got Dan Batty from Fleetwood Town, central midfielder. Don't think he would be a bad option. And Jody Jones is currently out of a contract in the summer with Oxford United. Now, there's no doubt in Jody Jones' ability. He's an absolutely outstanding footballer, and I think in League 2 he wouldn't be a bad option. Now, I think he more than likely will go to Notts County if they offer him a permanent contract. The problem with Jody Jones is he's so injury prone. That is one reason why I probably wouldn't sign him. But like I say, them 2 are just honourable mentions, and Dan Batty I think has done a good job at Fleetwood. I think he could be a good central midfield option in League 2. Now, all 5 of these players are not in any specific order or anything like that. Starting out then with a central midfield option recently released by Harrogate Town, I have gone with Alex Patterson at a great age at just 25. 36 games played this season with 31 starts, 9 goals, 5 assists from central midfield. I think he's very impressive when you consider how weak and poor that Harrogate squad is for the majority of this season. They've got a good player in there like Luke Armstrong, but around him, not really too much quality going forward. I think 14 goal contributions from central midfield is absolutely outstanding. He's featured in the Team of the Week on 5 occasions this season. His pass accuracy is quite good, to be fair. 83% in his own half, 63% in the opposition half, so he's clearly not scared to try and, play that needle through a haystack sort of pass. His defensive stats aren't too bad either, and in my opinion, I think he would be a very good central midfield option. To be fair, even if we're in League 1 next season, I would certainly take him. Goal-scoring midfielder is something that we've lacked for so many years now, and if you think a high-scoring midfielder, I think he's Richie Smallwood. I think he's got, in terms of goal contributions anyway, I think he's got 4 goals, 3 assists, or it might be 3 goals, 4 assists. I'm not really too sure. Either way, he's more of a defensive midfielder. If you think someone like Alex Patterson, 14 goal contributions, I think he's very good. He's been Harrogate's standout player for a number of years now. Obviously, they had Jack Diamond last season, but for me personally, I think Patterson will be an absolutely brilliant signing in the centre of midfield. Like what I say, 25 years of age, I think he would be absolutely brilliant. Next up then is 27-year-old James Wilson. Now, he's currently out of a deal with Port Vale, but they have offered him new terms, so it would probably be quite hard to convince him to come down into League 2. If we are in League 1 next season, I don't think he would be a bad option whatsoever. Like I said, 27 years of age, he's still got time to, get into his prime and all that sort of stuff. This season, he's really struggled for minutes, just the 25 appearances and only 17 starts, but he has scored 4 goals with 1 assist, which I don't think is a bad return, to be fair. 5 goal contributions in 17 starts in League 1 is not too bad at all, in my opinion. He has a 14% shot conversion rate, which again, don't think is too bad. He wins a decent amount of his aerial duels and his ground duels as well. I think he will be a good goal scoring option. Last season in League 2 for Port Vale, he did pretty well, to be fair. Played 44 matches and started 41 of them. Scored 12 goals last season with 3 assists. So 15 goal contributions in 41 starts in League 2. I don't think he's a bad return whatsoever. He had a 12% conversion rate last season, which I think is pretty decent, to be fair. If we're in League 2, I'd be absolutely all over trying to get James Wilson in. If we're in League 1, I wouldn't go all out for him, but I think he would still be a decent signing at League 1 level. And like what I say, 27 years of age, certainly about to come up into his prime. So I think think James Wilson would personally be a good striking option in my opinion. Next up then, I have gone with Johnny Smith of Burton Albion, recently released from his contract there, 25 years of age, right winger, left-footed. It's pretty much perfect, isn't it, to be a Scott Banks replacement. If we can't get Banks in the summer, I think he's out of a deal with Crystal Palace. Obviously, I haven't included Banks or Critchlow. If we can get them two back next season, definitely should be looking at getting them in. But Johnny Smith, I think, would be a good option. Mark Hughes likes his wingers to be inverted and cut in on their stronger foot, so I think Johnny Smith would certainly suit that. This season has struggled a little bit in League One, to be fair, just the 22 starts, but 3 goals, 2 assists, I don't think is too bad in 22 starts, to be fair, in a side where Burton struggled for the majority of the season. Last season in League One, he got 4 goals and 4 assists, and then the season before that, again in League One, he got 3 goals and 3 assists. So in League One, fairly consistent. League Two, I certainly think he could rip it up. The last time he was in League Two with Oldham Athletic, I think it was, he got 9 goals and 6 assists. So very, very good player. If you think Oldham were shocking for pretty much all the time Oldham have existed, to be fair, since they've been relegated from the Premier League, but I think Johnny Smith would be an unbelievable signing. 25 years of age means he's got plenty of room to grow, suits Mark Hughes' style of play, and I think would be an absolutely perfect Scott Banks replacement. To be fair, I'd probably even take him in League One because I think he'd be a good option at his age. I think with the way that Mark Hughes has moulded Scott Banks, I certainly think he could get the best out of Johnny Smith and get him back to his goal scoring and assisting form as well. So I'd like to see him come in the summer, especially if we're in League Two. Next up then, I have gone with former Charlton Athletic versatile player Sean Clare. 26 years of age, can play right back, centre mid, or even centre half, to be fair. Now I've gone with him just because he is so versatile. I think his energy, you know, he's very good in my opinion. He's done well at League One level in a struggling Charlton side this season. You know, he has played the majority of the season at right back, had a couple games in central midfield as well. 26 years of age. I think if we're in League Two, I'd definitely look at maybe getting this guy because I think Luke Hendry more than likely will move on in the summer. I don't think he's really good enough to be challenging Brad Halliday for that right back spot. And Halliday, don't get me wrong, he's been brilliant for the majority of the season, but I think if you have someone like a Sean Clare who's a bit better than Luke Hendry, in my opinion, both of them competing for that first choice right back spot, I would only personally sign Sean Clare if we're in League Two next season. If we are in League One, I wouldn't really look at touching that, to be honest with you, because I think he's probably not going to be the cheapest. Next up then is Crewe Alexandra's Christopher Long. Now he is out of a deal with Crewe again in the summer. I'm pretty sure they have offered him a new contract, and I think if we're definitely in League Two next season, I would certainly be looking to get this guy in. 28 years of age, so again coming into his prime, can play as a striker, left wing, could even do a job on the right wing, to be fair. Left-footed as well, we don't have a left-footed striker. Has really struggled for fitness though this season, only 6 starts for him, but I think 3 goals and 2 assists in 6 starts is very impressive if we are in League Two next season. If we're in League One, I certainly wouldn't be against signing him, but I just think you need someone with a little bit more quality than Chris Long, in my opinion. With his injury record, that's the only thing that really puts me off, to be fair. He has a 15% shot conversion rate, which I don't think is bad whatsoever. 70% passing accuracy as well, which again for a striker is pretty decent, to be fair. I do think Chris Long is a good player, and when we played against him a couple of weeks ago, he absolutely tore us to shreds, tore Halliday to shreds, and we all know how good Halliday is. So in my opinion, if we are in League Two next season, I would be certainly looking at getting Chris Long in. If we're in League One, I'd maybe cool the interest a little bit. Let's get into the players that I would have a look at then if we are in League One. I think pretty much every League One club in this summer transfer window will be chasing Cole Stockton. If we are in League One, why not throw our hat in the ring? 29 years of age, so he's coming into his prime now. Done very good at Morecambe over the last couple of seasons. 11 goals for him this season in just 30 starts, as well as 1 assist. He's got a 16% goal conversion rate, which I don't think is bad whatsoever. Last season for Morecambe, pretty much single-handedly kept them up. 23 goals and 4 assists. He had an absolutely outstanding season. For the majority of this season, he struggled, but towards the back end of the season, he seemed to pick up his form once more. Certainly got a screamer in him as well. If we can get him in, obviously it would be an outstanding signing. We were linked with him at the start of last season, weren't we, when Derek Adams came and he decided to stay at Morecambe and sign a new contract there, and he's obviously a proven League One striker, goal scorer at that level now, done well, to be fair. If you were telling me at the start of last season that I'd be all over Cole Stockton if we're in League One, I would have laughed at you because I didn't want him at the start of last season. Now though, he's proven himself and he's not a one-season wonder, so I would certainly love to sign Cole Stockton, in my opinion. Next up then is former Plymouth Argyle central midfielder Danny Mayer. Now he is 32 years of age, but I think we need someone to really challenge Jamie Walker in that number 10 position. Could also probably play as a number 8 in a diamond maybe. This season has kind of struggled for minutes, to be fair, at Plymouth. Just the 23 starts for him, 1 goal and 5 assists, which I don't think is a bad return in 23 appearances. Last season, where he got a little bit more football, he got 3 goals and 5 assists, so he's a proven player at League One level. If we're in League Two, I'd absolutely love Danny Mayer, but in League One, I think he would be a very good experienced signing in there as well. Can play as an 8 or as a number 10, and on a 2-year deal, I think he could certainly prove his quality, regardless of whatever division we are in next season. Next up then, this one is probably a little bit unrealistic, to be fair. I have gone with former Cambridge United striker Sam Smith. Now, it looks pretty likely he might be returning to Reading, to be fair. Obviously, Reading relegated down into League One. He's done a very good job at Cambridge United this season. Like I say, a little bit maybe unrealistic, but you never know with obviously the stature of our football club. I don't really see someone like a Sheffield Wednesday going in if they're still in League One at next season. But if we can maybe get him in, you know, he's a proven goal scorer at League One level. This season has scored 13 goals and picked up 1 assist, which I don't think is bad whatsoever. Has a 10% goal conversion rate, so he's clearly not scared to take a shot on. Not necessarily as good a conversion rate as some of the other strikers that we have already touched on, but I think if you get him chances at League One level, he certainly is going to convert. Last season scored 15 goals as well with 1 assist, so he's proven to get around 15 goals in League One, which I think is a very, very good return. Could certainly play out on the wing if you really need him to, out on the right, or maybe even on the left as well. I think he would be a brilliant signing at League One level. Obviously, I don't think we have got really any chance of getting him if we are in League Two. 25 years of age, so a brilliant age to obviously bring him in and on a free transfer. I don't think anyone can really complain at that whatsoever. Next up then is former Morecambe shot stopper Conor Ripley. Now, I'm 99% sure we actually had him on loan at some point. I might be wrong there. I'm not really too sure, actually. I can have a look. Seymour. Yeah, he did. He had a loan spell with us in 2013. I didn't think it was that long ago. He was only with us though for half a season. Not really too sure what went on there, but 30 years of age now. Now, I'd only sign him if Harry Lewis does move on. If we're in League Two, who knows what could happen with Harry Lewis. I think if we definitely go into League One, Harry Lewis is 1,000,000% going to stay because he'd have absolutely no reason to leave. He's loved by the fans, all that sort of stuff. In League Two, if he gets a really good offer in terms of wages and a 4 or 5 year contract, you never really know what could happen. But I think if we do lose Harry Lewis, regardless of whatever division we're in, but I think it's more likely if we are in League One, Conor Ripley would be an outstanding goalkeeper. He's done brilliant at Morecambe this season, played all 46 matches, saved 4 out of 9 penalties as well. He has a 71% save percentage, which I don't think is bad at all, in my opinion. Obviously, it has conceded an average 1.7 goals per game, but Morecambe's defence this season has been absolutely shocking. I'm pretty sure he won quite a few Player of the Year awards from Players Player, Managers Player, all that sort of stuff. I might be wrong, you have to let me know down in the comment section down below, but I think Ripley would be a very good sign, and a lot of League One clubs seem to be sniffing around for him, and a lot of fans of League One clubs have certainly been looking at him as well as potential for their club to sign. But 30 years of age, I think is a good age for a goalkeeper. I think it would be a really nice welcome return to Valley Parade, in my opinion. Next up then is another former Plymouth Argyle central midfielder. This time is Conor Grant. Again, this one might be a little bit unrealistic at 28 years of age. I think that's a brilliant age, to be fair, for a central midfielder. Can either play again as an 8 or as a number 10. This season has really, really struggled for league minutes. Only played 9 occasions. Only managed the 1 start as well this season. Scored 1 goal. Didn't get any assists as well, but last season, where he played a decent amount, last season he made 38 appearances, 37 starts, scored 7 goals and picked up 4 assists as well. In League One, I think he would be an absolutely brilliant signing. If we've got any chance of getting him in League Two, again, I think this would be an outstanding signing. Like I said, we need a couple central midfielders, another central midfielder who can score goals, can also do the defensive side as well. In terms of his duels as well, wins 56% of his total duels, 59% on the ground, 50% in the air. And I think, again, in a diamond formation as a left-footed central midfielder, I think he could be another good option in there, and in my opinion would be a very good signing for League One and obviously for League Two as well. And another bonus player, regardless of what division we are in next season, is Crewe Alexandra striker Dan Adjei. Absolutely tore us apart again in that game we played against him a couple of weeks ago. Can either play as a striker or as a right winger. How Crewe have got him, I never know. Now, I believe Crewe did actually offer him a new contract, and he's currently still in negotiations with them. Left-footed forward, 25 years of age. I think if you give him a 3-year deal, I think he might take that, to be honest with you. I can't see him being excessively on the wages either, to be fair. I think regardless of whatever division we're in, especially if we're in League Two next season, I would absolutely love Dan Adjei. Played all 46 games this season for Crewe, so he's clearly not injury prone. 16 goals in that Crewe side, I think is very impressive. Averaged a goal every 255 minutes. 15% shot conversion rate. 5 assists in there as well. 21 goal contributions in that Crewe side is absolutely incredible. Now, to be fair, in his last 10 matches, he has only picked up, 4 goals and 2 assists, which is not horrendous, to be fair, but he did have a little bit, he seems to be a little bit of a purple patch player, but I think even still, 16 goals in League Two is nothing to be sniffed at. 5 assists in there as well. Looked like a brilliant player. Wasn't just a goal scorer, but he knew the position to be in. Has pace, has that threat in behind, and like I say, 25 years of age, I think regardless of the division that we're in, would be another absolutely brilliant signing. So there you have it. My list in full then for all 13 players, obviously including a couple honourable mentions. You got Dan Batty, Jody Jones, Alex Patterson, James Wilson, Johnny Smith, Sean Clare, Chris Long, Cole Stockton, Danny Mayer, Sam Smith, Conor Ripley, Conor Grant, and Dan Adjei. But anyway, that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know, out of all these players, which one would you like to see Bradford City sign, and what division do you think we will be in next season? Obviously we've got the playoff semi-final, second leg coming up this weekend. I'll have the match preview coming out on Thursday. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you all very soon for another one. Peace.